Shalom Yesharallah. First and foremost, I'm to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rechah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to those Akim that's preached the word in all truth and sincerity, along to Israelite foreigner brothers that like the heathens, but the line on the side goes back to the nation of Israel, which nation of Israel are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans through the prophecies and curses of Deuteronomy 28 chapter and throughout the Bible. So this is really a call, a month of the lesson, and today's lesson will be entitled, The New Covenant Only Pertains to Israel. I was going to go on some precepts and Lord willing, you brothers and you sisters out there be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shimon Shai. Because as Christians really believe through the doctrine of supersessionalism, or also known as replacement theology, they really believe that the heathens are engrafted in to this truth and to them being the Lord's people. When indeed that is false, man. Because we understand according to the scriptures that the Heavenly Father Yahweh only deals with his people, the Israelites, and that leads me to my first precept in Exodus 3 and 10, and this when the Heavenly Father Yahweh was speaking to Moses, and it reads, Come now therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt, right? So the Heavenly Father Yahweh's people are the Israelites, and that never changed, because the Lord even said himself that he changes not, let's get that change not. Let's see, I believe it's in Malachi. I haven't been to that precept in a while. I believe it's in Malachi 3. Yep, Malachi 3 and 6. It reads, For I am the Lord Yahweh, I change not. Therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed, because, the sons of Jacob are not consumed, because the Lord has an elect who he's going to deliver, who's going to save. So the Heavenly Father Yahweh does not change. So his people are the Israelites. He's not going to change up in these days now, and now to start accepting the heathen nations. The actual heathen nations, the natural Gentiles, such as the so-called white man, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Africans, the Arabs, so on and so forth. Now you do have our people that scattered amongst them, that's Israelite foreigners, and that that the Lord's going to say that's how the elect. But for the natural Gentiles, there's no salvation for them. And when you go to Jeremiah 31 to 31, it reads, Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Right, because these are the two kingdoms, all collectively are the 12 tribes of Israel. The house of Israel is the northern kingdom from Ephraim, which are the so-called Puerto Ricans, going all the way down to the Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, which they are the so-called Latinos. Northern kingdom are the so-called Latinos and their American tribes. In the house of Judah, that's the southern kingdom, which are the so-called Negro tribes, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, because after King Solomon's death, there was a split of the nation of Israel to two kingdoms. The house of Rehoboam, which was Rehoboam was King Solomon's son. He had the southern kingdom, and Jeroboam, which was a servant of King Solomon, was King Solomon was living. After King Solomon died, Jeroboam, he split his kingdom. He had the northern kingdom, So, so that's why it says the house of Israel with the house of Judah, And covenant just means agreement. When you define it on a blue letter, it's from the Hebrew word baryath or barayath, which means covenant, alliance, pledge between men, you know, agreement, right, you know, which the alliance, the agreement is the law, such commandments, you know, and we read verse 32, it says, now, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which that was the first covenant, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith the Lord Yahweh. Right, because the nation of Israel is a wife to the Most High Yahweh. You know, we are his woman, you know. So, you know, uh, so the old covenant was also for the Israelites, because when you go to Leviticus 26 and 46, it says, these are the statutes and judgment and laws which the Lord Yahweh made between him and the children of Israel at Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses, right? Which this was the first covenant, you know. But now, since that the Israelites break the law, such commandments, it wasn't faithful. Now the Lord's going to make a new covenant, the second, also known as the second covenant, which is gonna say, you know, it says, verse 33 says, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord Yahweh, after the days of, you know, this kingdom of America being destroyed, because this will be the last kingdom that the Israelites will be in captivity, you know, because the scriptures say that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So in 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, so that precept alone proves that, you know, Esau will be the last of the remaining heathen to have the Israelites in captivity in the last days. So so after those days is the days after America be destroyed, you know, which is Babylon the Great. America is Babylon the Great, or the daughter of Babylon. It says, after those days, said the Lord Yahweh, I will put my law in their inner parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. Right. So this is a new covenant, you know. So the laws and commandments is gonna be in our inner parts. You know, when it's gonna be impossible for us to sin. We're gonna be perfect on earth, man. You know, just like the apostle always say, make the example. It's gonna be like, you know, like we uh, to compare not going off from not sinning, that we're gonna be perfect. It's gonna be like you knowing when to stop at a red light. You know, like you know when to stop at a red light, and you know when to go when it's green. You know when to slow down when it's yellow. You know, so the Israelites are gonna be perfect in the kingdom of heaven, man. Beginning on with our Lord Yahweh Shai, because it's gonna be His kingdom on earth. See, so let's keep going on. Verse 34 says, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord. Right, because you know all Israel is gonna be righteous, man. You know, see, we're not gonna be doing what we're doing now. You know, which is us telling our fellow Israelite brothers to know the Lord, repent, come back to the Lord. You know, because all Israel from the greatest to the least is gonna know the Lord, man. You know, it says, for they shall all know me. It's like I jumped the gun. From the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, which is sin upon sin, and I will remember their sin no more. Right. So the new covenant only applies to the nation of Israel, man. You know, because when you read Psalms 94:14, for the Lord Yahweh will not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance. Yes, so the Lord will never forsake or cast off his people, the Israelites, man. You know, because we are his people, we are his woman. You know, he loves us greatly, man. You know, the scriptures say that he has graven us on the palm of his hand, man. You know, let's get that. I believe it's in Isaiah 54. Trying to find that real quick. Let's see. Uh, Graven palm. No, it's in Isaiah. Let's see. Bear with me, Yakim. Graven you. Let's see. I have graven me. Isaiah 49, okay. Isaiah 49. Isaiah 49 and I start verse 14. It says, promise to Zion, but Zion means monument. From the Hebrew word to Zion or memorial, because when the heathen nations look on the Israelites, it's supposed to be in remembrance of the Most High Yahweh, because the nation of Israel are ambassadors, which is representatives of the Lord on earth, you know, by the laws and commandments, and how the nation of Israel govern themselves righteously, you know. It says, but Zion said, the Lord Yahweh hath forsaken me, and my Lord hath forgotten me. Right, because a lot of our people that's in the world that's without the truth, they really believe the Lord has forsaken us. When the Lord hasn't forsaken us, it was just a punishment that we had to suffer. And it was prophecy. First and foremost, it was prophecy for us to be in captivity, to be on these curses, man. To be subjugated under Esau, and these heathen nations. But it was going to only be for a short period of time. This wasn't going to be forever. You see, it says, verse 15: can a woman forget her suckling child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yet they may forget, yet will I not forget thee. Right. So even a woman, you know, she can forget about her child, but not the Lord, man. The Lord will never forget Israel. You know. It says, verse 16: behold, I have graven thee upon the palms of my hands. Thy walls are continually before you, man. So the Lord loves us, man. He has graven us. He's graven us. He has created us, man. We are his creature, you know. So the Heavenly Father Yahweh has not forgotten about us, man. You know. So so yeah, that was pretty much it. Just want to be clear on that. It's also reiterated in Hebrews 8, which Apostle Paul reiterated this, what Jeremiah said, you know. And I just read it again. Hebrews 8 and 8 says, for finding fault with them, fault in the sin, because we was in the wrong. The nation of Israel, we was with fault, we was with sin. It says, he said, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, and I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continue not in my covenant, and I regard them not, saith the Lord. Because once again, our people, they was breaking the lost commandments. They were unfaithful to the Lord. It says, for this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me from the least to the greatest, for I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. And that he said, a new covenant he made the first old, the first covenant old, that now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. Right? Because it's going to be the new covenant, it's going to be enacted, it's going to be in the nation of Israel's inward parts, beginning on with the elect, and the whole nation, our nation is going to be perfect, man, in the kingdom, you know. And all starts off with the Lord Yahweh side, man, because it's going to be his kingdom on earth. So yeah, that was pretty much it. I just want to make a quick lesson on that. The new covenant only applies to Israel, the nation of Israel. So, Lord willing, I was edified. And till next time, Shalom.